I want to surprise people when I go to the thrift store. When they compliment me, I'm like, it's thrifted. And they're gonna be like, what? Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Nicole, and in this video, I'm gonna be sharing all of my top tips for thrifting success. Let's get to it. Thrifting is life-changing. I remember when I first started thrifting, I felt like for the first time, I could really show off my personal style and who I was through clothing because there was just a vast array of items before me. You're going to find something, and you know that when you find that item that screams, "This is me," you can afford it. It's not gonna be out of your price range. You're also gonna find items that chances are nobody else has, and I don't know about you, but when I get complimented on a piece of clothing and someone's like, "Where did you get that?" I love being able to say, "It's thrifted." It just feels good in your heart to know that you have taken something and saved it from a landfill, styled it up in a way that somebody else compliments you. The first thing to know is that there are various levels of shopping secondhand clothing. I would say at the top level or the highest price point, there are consignment stores. And consignment stores are when people have taken things from their closets directly, brought it to a store to resell. And so these things are generally gonna be newer, they're gonna be a little bit more expensive, and consignment stores will vary.
They will vary very much.
Some consignment stores take just about anything. You'll find a lot of Target, and other consignment stores are higher end where they specifically only take designer items. So it pays to do a little bit of research before you go, but you can still find amazing items. Next, you have your vintage resale shops. These shop owners have gone to Goodwill or what have you, estate sales for you, went through all the items, collected the best of the best, maybe have done a few alterations and are then reselling them. I personally have a love-hate relationship with these shops because the items are amazing, but because I thrift so much, I am well aware of the price points that the shop owners themselves paid for it. So when I have a piece in my hands, I'm like, oh, I wish I could have found this first. Then you have the thrift shops themselves. Goodwill, Savers, Salvation Army are usually the top most popular ones. These places vary in price point. Some, I think like Savers and maybe Salvation Army too, they pay attention to the brands they put out and will price accordingly, whereas Goodwill, I don't think they really care about the brands. They're just like, here's a shirt for $5. Then lastly, you have the Goodwill warehouses. Do not start here if you're new to thrifting. These places just have a bunch of clothes in giant buckets. You dig through them, you pick out what you want, and you pay by the pound. These are some things that I find helpful before you even go. 1, know your body type. If you already know the clothes that look best on you, that's gonna save you a whole lot of time in the dressing room. And it's not to say you can't dress against your body type sometimes, but if you're first starting out with fashion, clothing, dressing yourself, thrifting, this will just help you save a bunch of time. The second is know your personal style. Thrifters are gonna have so many things and it can easily get very overwhelming. If you go in there and you know, oh, I really hate the color yellow, you don't need to look at the yellow clothes. Next, I like to have a general idea of what is in style, what is in fashion right now before I go out so that I can keep my eye out for any trends that have resurfaced. One of the ways that I like to do this best is going on stores' online websites, browsing how the models are styled. My favorite website to do this is actually asos.com. They have a large array of items, but I'm pretty sure just about every item is styled up in a complete look. And so I find it so helpful just to browse through there and get ideas. And sometimes you'll even get inspiration from things you already have in your own closet, pairing them in a way that you never thought of yourself before. Checking out websites before you go as well will really help you see how the trend has been reinterpreted this season. Usually there are little things that retailers will do to make it new and modern and fresh, and so when you are shopping from the original time around, it's very easy to grab that piece but still look dated. I've personally taken shoulder pads out of things, changed up buttons, shortened hemlines, all sorts of different things to make that piece look like it came from a much more expensive store. Next, you might want to go online, check the thrift store's calendars because they all have sale days. I once found a pair of amazing designer maternity jeans that I think retailed for over $170 for $1.99 because it was Blue Tag's $1.99 sale day. And we're officially armed up with the correct tools and we're ready to go. But first, I don't like to leave the house without having a giant coffee and being well fed. You're going to want to be in the mood to dig, and you're not going to be in that mood unless you are energized. So definitely feed your body the fuel that it needs to get in that mindset. Keep in mind that just because it's cheap doesn't mean you should bring it home. If you try something on in the dressing room and you're like, oh, this is all right, this is okay except for just this one thing, leave it. You're not gonna wear it, or you're gonna try it on when you get home and then take it off and put on something else. And wasted money is wasted money. So only keep the things that you put on and it's like the heavens have shined down upon you. Depending on how much time you have that day or how energized you can keep yourself, you might want to hit up multiple thrift stores in a day. Again, because we're not taking every item home and we're only taking home the perfect piece, sometimes you will leave empty-handed, and that's okay. There are tons of thrift stores out there. The first one may suck, but the second one might have all the jewels. Also, look for thrift stores that are not in popular cities. I think a lot of times people think just because it's in like the ritzier side of town, it's gonna have all the good stuff, but everybody's going to think that. When I go to thrift stores in very small towns, that's generally when I find the most amazing stuff because nobody else is going there. It's very easy to get caught up in the moment when you find that amazing piece, but make sure you inspect it first. Thrift stores sometimes put out things with missing buttons, tears, stains. If they have fuzzes on them, you can definitely get a fabric shaver and take care of that very easily, but if something has a stain on it, I would say leave it. A lot of times it's been thrown in the dryer, and so that stain is set, it is not coming out. If the store you're visiting is a place that organizes by size, I recommend both checking out the size up from what you normally wear and the size down, because sizes mean nothing. Don't worry about what the tag said. How many times has someone come up to you, complimented you on what you're wearing, and then said, but what size is that though? No, no one does that. Don't worry about it. It's just a number. They're all great. If it looks good, looks good. If you're someone who's a little bit concerned about the germ factor, I guess I would just say it's not really a big concern of mine. When you go to any big box store, think about how many times a shirt has been tried on by millions of strangers and put back on the rack. If you are super duper concerned about it, leaving an item in the sun for a day can do a world of wonders. You can also leave your purchase in the trunk of your car for the day and let your car sit outside in the sun, and that'll raise temperatures to pretty much nuke everything out, apocalypse style. And there you have it. Those are all my top tips for thrift store success. I hope that you've learned something new. I hope that you are excited to get out there and find your next great find. If you are someone who already loves thrift store shopping, let me know in the comments below the favorite piece you've ever found, or let me know your favorite tip from this video. I would love to hear from you. And if you're new around here, let us be friends. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. Ta-da! Until next time, guys, bye!